I say, whoa, now, y'all, what's happening with it's your mans and them Foul Shot, aka the Toothless Wonder, reporting on the Bamboozle Again News Network. And I got a hypothetical question, right? I'm going to just put out into the YouTube atmosphere, you understand? How do y'all respond to pain? Granted, there are different levels of pain, physical pain, which I seem to have a high threshold. There's mental pain, emotional pain, spiritual pain. And what I'm attempting to do, what I talked about in my last video about, it's just weird how I start coming to these epiphanies about how the Mohai talked to me, right? And he tended to talk to me in my own particular way, right? For years, he was silent, right? Or you know how they talk about, when you're taking a test, the teacher's silent, right? So I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know I'm in a test or if I'm passing or if I'm doing it correctly because I never been in it, right? But routinely or randomly doing just regular stuff, I would get these messages in the matrix through seemingly random stuff, but it stick out to me for some reason. Like for instance, when I had this, and I just recently went into a new a flare of saying synchronicity of numbers, right? But then I'm like, yo, it's got to be more to it than this, because I might see it on a license plate, road sign, time. Like say I get off at a certain time. So why am I noticing it now when I get off at the same time or I drive past the same road? And now all of a sudden, the road sign is sticking out to me, even though I pass by it routinely throughout the week. Then I'll go check into it or whatever the case may be. I actually had one time where as though there were these elaborate spider webs. I mean, intricately woven, you understand? So much so, I'm like, yo, it's something to this. And there was like 3-4 of them, and they were vast, and they looked like Allen Iverson cornrows back in the day. So I got to going on YouTube. Now, granted, I'm a firm believer if you're searching for the truth, you should know the truth when you see it, hear it, or it should resonate with your spirit, where with me, my spirit agree with it, right? Not necessarily my conscious mind, because I do tend to overthink or overanalyze, rather. And in the piece I saw about the spider webs, it was talking about not new agey type stuff or occultic type stuff, but it meant protection. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, I'll take that. Because I was in a phase of life at that time, not too long ago, where I didn't know if I made the right decision, but I chose to protect my spirit rather than, sell out the finance and stick to my principles, right? Principles over personality. I didn't know if I was going to do it right, or, am I getting lazy, or do I think I'm better than? Does it mean I was weak because I didn't stay in it, or was I strong because I left and chose faith? Like, I had all these hypothetical things running through my mind, right? And he walked me through all that, right? So now I'm in this space where I talked about in the last video, whereas though the tariffs and the budget cuts, right? Which is odd because I seem to be having some level of prophetic gift, right? Now, it don't seem spiritual to me. I just feel led to talk about it. Like, I don't know, maybe it was a month ago, I wanted to come on YouTube with something. So what am I well versed in? Rehab and the chicanery that goes on there, and financial misappropriation in the medical field. Just made a random video about it right before I went to work. I don't even think it was that long. By the time I got off, it was national news. You know what I'm saying? Something I've been privy to for years on end. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say this. How do you respond to pain? Because it can be a blessing if you go about it the right way. And I think here's what's happening. You can go willingly or you can go kicking and screaming. But either way you going. No different than Jonah. He was told to go this way. Nah, I think you should choose somebody else. I'm going to go this way because I know best or I'm not qualified. Then he gets short-stopped going the wrong direction, swallowed up by the circumstances, using a fish or a well that the Most High had set just for him to get his attention, to re-divert him and send him back to do what he was supposed to do anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm of the belief certain things in the spiritual realm are time released. So let's say it get released in the spiritual realm, it might take a second for it to hit you here in the physical. So as of late, like maybe a few months ago, I was on this gladiatory type space. And then I was having like certain talking points in reference to all roads leading to Rome, and, the similarities between Babylon and Rome, They say in the scriptures that Rome didn't necessarily go away, it just went into perdition, or, you know what I mean? The similarities between Roman society, bread and circus, here in Mystery Babylon, so on and so forth, and a spiritual response to it. Now, I'm not called to be no gladiator, but in the spiritual essence of what a gladiator embodied, the desire to embrace pain and suffering as a worthy gladiator upon the sands of this Babylonian society. There's pain, like, let's say you, just whoever you is, you just a regular human being, right? You still got some empathy, you still got some compassion. Then wisdom tell you need to restrict that because people use it against you. You know what I'm saying? So you got these great gifts that make you a human, but nowhere to extend it to, right? Embracing the social suffering, such as myself. Even when I was younger, seeing my grandparents who were married like 70-something years, around about puberty time, like, I always had desire to marry like a chocolatey sister. You know, the light-skinned girls were in at that time. I ain't want them to do with that. Like Tupac told me, the blacker the berry, the sweeter juice. And we're going to have a whole bunch of babies, you know what I'm saying? Like my grandparents, and live on some land, and, you know what I mean? Whoop de whoop de whoop. Not understanding the social construct that would almost make it literally impossible for that to take place spiritually, socially, economically, whatever, right? Pain. The pain of having your greatest gifts and nowhere to extend it. The pain of having the greatest ideas and dreams, and seemingly they're not wise to go about it. And I've made talking points about this in the past where, like, I do have a heart for the people, based on how I was raised, maybe certain seeds being planted, what I was made to read about the struggle in various aspects of, you know, our captivity here, whether it be segregation, Jim Crow era authors, you know, people, you know, talking about slavery, so on and so forth, right? And it did something to my brain, or rather it triggered something in my mind, right? So I always had this kind of understanding of the plight, not only the plight, the solutions, and the reason you love, you know what I'm saying, your people who are unlovable, right? So typically, I was on the reverse side of the spectrum. I give a black person a pass, but I thought I was supposed to get jiggy with, let's say, another group or color of people, right? Almost reminiscent of Moses, where, you know, he seen the oppressor harshly treating his fellow kinsmen, and it angered him so much he unalived him. Seemingly, he thought he was all right. He did it for the cause, right? Just assuming. Whereas though later on down the pike, he see two of his kinsmen arguing, I'm assuming seeking to mediate the situation. Like, yo, in the New Age term, y'all got y'all brothers mad. And they got mad at him for getting in their business and saying, ain't you the one who did whoop de whoop de whoop to the Egyptian? Oh, no, they know. I didn't think they knew that. Now he got to take flight and stay in the wilderness for about 40 years. After having lived in the palace, choosing to come out of that to be amongst his people, and then his own people caused him to go on the flight. From my research, he was about 80 years old when the Most High called him. So, essentially in isolation for 40 years. You understand? He was on the backside of a mountain, to my understanding, being tended to, worked on, and purged by the Most High. You don't think that was painful? To then be called to do something that had never been done. I want you to go back and essentially talk, which would be the modern day comparison of, let's say, him calling me to go talk to Emperor Trump. Segue me, please. I'm gonna slightly take the scenic route here. Round about the time he was announced to be president, I started, if anybody's covered, you know, listen to my content for a little bit of time, I started referring to that man as Emperor Trump. Again, reminiscent of the Roman culture and society. For whatever he's doing and got the whole world angry at this man, nobody can stop him because he is operating with you know, full immunity at this point. He remind me of Caligula or one of them Bammers, you know? Yeah. So, and I was just calling him that. Now he seems to be operating like that. So now, again, scenic route, right? I see how the brother Truth Unedited channel made the argument of how, you know, people say whoever's the Antichrist or whatever the case may be, but he's heading into a certain point in time, or you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure he's on Earth now. But I could see how the play could work out, whereas though Trump does so much to anger the entire world that whoever comes out and politically, stops him or is more powerful than him, I can see how the whole world will get on their jockey strap and how they'll say he the Messiah. But yet I digress. Let me get back on the main road, right? So I'm in this space now. Like DMX said, all I know is rain, all I know is pain. How can I maintain with that my brain, right? I am now in an act of forcing myself into uncomfortability and pain for as long as I can see. They say actually it's painful making it to heaven. It's actually comfortable going to hell. So now I'm in this space again, more of a gladiator kind of thing, or just kind of in that space, right, where I managed to go 18 hours a day without eating. Then I broke down. I'm gonna try to go a little longer tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I still got some, issues, you know what I'm saying, as far as like habits that I've talked about on here, right? We gonna address that. Even if I'm gonna keep addressing it till it get beat. Because ultimately, this world, whatever it is, spiritually, cannot defeat me. Now it can if I don't go to war with it. And the way I'm set up, I could lose at something 1,000 times. But once I get the W once, it's never a problem again. You know what I'm saying? So the pain of falling 7 times and having to get back up, you know what I'm talking about? The pain of living in uncertainty. And I lived in that for years. Where and I might have messed up or whatever. If the Most High don't do something for me, I'm done for. Stick a fork in me. All my enemies, the naysayers, the bamboozlers, the users, they will all triumph over me. And that can't happen. I don't have enough power to do anything about this particular situation. But God darn it, I ain't come all this way and go through all this pain just to take the drop now. Now I'm talking about. No, sir. So, and it's just not me saying it, just be saying it. My soul saying that. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For maybe let's say the sisters out there who, let's say you made some bad mistakes. We all have. So I don't really be on the whole beat somebody because they make a mistake, because you talk to the king of mistakes, you understand? But let's say she see the error of her ways, you know what I'm saying, and tries to whoop the woo, right? But let's say now, you know what I'm saying, I don't know, maybe she got some kids, the whole rhetoric online, don't deal with no women with kids, but she's looking to be a helpmate, or she has some functional skills in, let's say, business administration, or, I don't know, farming, or whatever. The pain of being looked over by, let's say, men who you deem to be spiritual, or men who you're now in spiritual alignment with, that painful, ain't it? I can only imagine, you know what I'm talking about? But embrace the pain. And I'm saying this to y'all, saying it to myself. Because actually, looking back on it, I respond better to pain. I respond better to opposition and challenges. You know what I'm saying? Like I talked about on here, when I finally got to some place of financial comfortability after almost a decade, that made me uncomfortable. I'm like, it ain't nothing to fight. It ain't nothing I gotta, overly analyze and think about. Like, I can just chill and ain't nothing pressing me, or I can just go to the store and buy some Jordans if I feel like it. I actually asked for God to send a storm. Then in my little kidness, when he sent the storm, I said, I want to go back to be comfortable. So God, don't even listen to me no more. Just do what you feel best. You know what I'm saying? Because there's spiritual me, and then there's mind me. You know what I'm saying? But mind me don't understand the spiritual journey I got to go through to become who my mind envisioned through my soul and spirit. You know what I'm saying? That whole, I guess, what's that? Mind, will, and emotions. That's your soul, what they say. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes they be in alignment, but at the same time, they all have a certain disconnect. And at a certain time, they all fight with one another. You know what I'm saying? See, my heart say, just worry about yourself. But the heart is deceitfully wicked above all things. Cause my heart done been stabbed up, stepped on, scorned, but it's still beating. You know what I'm saying? And it's getting stronger after it healed and mended. You understand me? My mind said, yo, with the skill set the Most High done gave you, you could probably be the catalyst for some type of what's the word I'm looking for? The catalyst for some new, I'll put it this way, some type of new course of thought in the Negro community. That's my mindset, right? But then my spirit tell me, yeah, if the Most High, once you do that at the appointed time, but to do it prematurely, you be just as disappointed as how you was when you was younger and was doing it. Am I making any sense? So now I'm in this greater sense. Now it's more, I'll know something, but then it does take me kind of a little transition period to actually implement what my mind has discovered through the revelation of my spirit, right? Everything all good. Endure this suffering that I'm about to inflict on myself. Not like bad decision making or nothing like that. And that will give God, and if he know that you knock down the ego, or you're not doing it in ego, or you're subjecting your flesh, and so on and so forth, then, because now you're in alignment, he can give you the desires of your heart, because now as you went through this process of submission, now what you want to do is actually in alignment with what he would have you to do anyway. But the road there is pain. The pain of getting up earlier to read, maybe say 15 minutes more. The pain of staying up later so I can get an extra 15 minutes in the gym. You know what I'm saying? The pain of progressively extending my fast from the time I eat. You see what I'm saying? The pain of doing more financially, even though I don't do it, because it's for legacy building. The pain of uncertainty. Am I doing it right? Because I'm still going to overthink. I just got to override that with prayer and supplication and reading and so on and so forth. The pain of uncertainty. Did you misread what your spirit is feeling? Because if you misread this, it'll negate the 4 years of work you done put on this far by one miscalculation. Run it. What's happening? And I'm saying all this to say it to y'all, and I hope I think I've kind of conveyed this like from the heart, from the spirit, more so than any other video I've ever done, right? And I'm attempting to say this to impart this to the viewer, no matter your situation. And I've been through a courthouse, homeless for years on end, broke for years on end, true story, lost, all my greatest friends throughout my journey, the people who have bamboozled me and may still be attempting to hinder my progress, the pain of coming out of my own desire for vindication and justice, and putting it in the Most High will, and saying, yo, you know what? I forgive him, yo. Woo! Y'all feel me? Is I'm halfway job preaching? Yeah. Because I'm coming out again to a greater degree. It's levels to it, like Meek Mill, of even seeking to protect my own self, when it has been the Most High who done saved my life all my life. When I broke my neck, various street issues. I was with a partner one time when he got shot. I got shot at. Like I've talked about on here. I'll be honest, I don't do it now, because I'm not sexually active, but I don't be wearing it. When I used to splat, you know what I'm saying, back then, I ain't wearing no condom. That's like going to the shower with all my clothes on. So I do one of these numbers, as jacked up as this sound. This is my concept, or this is my logic. Lord, please don't let these hind parts kill me. But I'm thankful he winked at my ignorance. You know what I'm saying? And then inherently, even when I was in the grips of addiction or just acting a fool, somehow I knew ain't but so much gonna happen, because there is some type of call on my life. They've been telling me that's our little. But here it is. Let's say they say whatever they said to me. Let's say 13. Here it is. Lord's will, September. I'll be 43. We talking 30 years of preparation. 30 years of purging and hard knocks and heartbreak and betrayal. You understand me? And it had to been set to order by the Most High, knowing what I was going to do before I did it. Because outside of telling y'all, I have no bitterness or no residual effects of all that stuff I just said. I can't say the same for everybody else. Again, not because I'm so bad, I'm so tough, I'm so raw, I'm so mean. Because it was ordained by the Most High. The scriptures routinely talk about betrayal and things of that nature. Because if you're operating a certain way, you're gonna get betrayed. You're not thinking, if you befriend somebody or you help them. At least me, nowhere in my mind was like, this person gonna turn on me. I wanted to see the best for them. I was the repayment would have, I actually helped somebody get through a tough season. That attaches to me. You know what I'm saying? But more oftentimes than I operate in wisdom now, more oftentimes than not, they took your kindness for weakness or, anything along. I forgive them folk and I hope they all right. I've been in this space. Now I really ain't got no enemies. I'm praying. And then these rehab people, you know what I'm saying, around the corner over here, the fake, Jewish man, all them people. I swear he down with Satan. Now here, I got one too, right? I'm work in progress. So I seen in the Old Testament where David, would pray for, let's say, the fall of his enemies or that they fall in the pit or even certain prophets and stuff like that, right? But I never seen an example of that in the New Testament where the disciple prayed for the fall of Rome or for, they just prayed for his will or, Pontius Pilate for something to happen to him or woo. So I'm going to go ahead and pray for the Jewish man, yo. Now here's why I intellectualize, because, forgive them, Lord, because they know not what they do. That's where I get stuck at, because I think he know. I don't think. I know he know what he doing, but I still got to forgive him. I'm assuming. Well, Yeshua didn't say it on the cross. And right before he said that, he asked, Father, have you forsaken me? Before he knew, the chain of events that's going to lead to immense suffering, he said, Father, if it is your will, take this cup from me, but not my will, but your will be done. My life don't belong to me, no way. It's not like I made myself and came down here. You know what I'm saying? So let me end this, because I got to check on my seedling, check on my flock. I hope I did this video some mess. Now I don't know what's going on. Yeah, my YouTubing kind of on the untube tip, right? So sometimes my views don't match the or the likes. Like I have let's say 10 likes with 3 views. Sometimes it'll say, let's say I got 4 messages or 4 comments. Click on it, I only see 3, right? So for my brother CEO King, if you check this video out, my email is in the description of, I guess, the channel, like if you view the channel or whoop the whoop, right? My brother Daniel Sawyers, we were conversing last night that I didn't see any messages. So if it's trying to be hindered and blocked, please look for my email in the description of my channel. Gosh, I can't go into it now. It was another brother, I believe his name might be different in the comment section, but my email, I believe it was Mr. T, if I'm not mistaken. He was writing a book that from his literary kind of style reminds me of the brother Nathan McCall. I read his books when I was incarcerated. He wrote the book. It was I think it was a New York Times bestseller, Make Me Want to Holler. I hadn't, seen any more excerpts of him. If anybody needs to contact me or I don't see your mess for some reason, I'm pretty good with check because I get, notifications on my phone and whatnot. And you want to reach out, I will try to get back to you in a timely fashion, of course. But my email should be in the description. I checked it is there. I don't know from maybe y'all if y'all know how to get to that point, but it is in there. This is Foul Sharpton, aka the Toothless Wonder, signing off from the Bamboozle Again News Network. One last message. Fear not. And on that note, I'm gonna holler at y'all. One love, baby.